Good evening. Here is the news at 9. First, the highlights. Lagos State Government charges young engineers on education to service. Federal government cautions motorists against speeding on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. On the foreign scene, Shanghai Education Bureau orders nurseries childcare to shut down. In sport, Croatia defeats Morocco to clinch third position in ongoing World Cup in Qatar. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Lagos State Ministry of Transportation has appealed to young engineers to be diligent and dedicated in service. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Abdulafiz Toriola, made the appeal during a program organized by mechanical engineer professionals in Lagos State Public Service to celebrate his new office as a permanent secretary. Toriola urged the transportation family to work in line with their mandates to achieve the letter T of the theme's agenda, HA's transportation and traffic management.
Mechanical engineering professionals in the Lagos State Civil Service, I want to recognize all of you. And my people from my constituency, I told them, I said, VIS is my constituency, I cannot do VIS. They must continue to perform and do the work in line with their mandate. So they must do that.
Chairman on the occasion, Ayode Jadine concerned the permanent secretary is dedicated, hard-working, is a dedicated, hard-working public servant that is worthy to be celebrated. Adineko noted that the program also includes celebrating retired mechanical engineers as a means of recognizing and rewarding their efforts.
What we're doing is actually a mechanical engineering family affair, honoring our members that have retired and our member that was appointed permanent secretary in the Lagos State Civil Service. My advice is that they should be diligent in all they do.
Members of retired engineers in civil service commended the permanent secretary for his tremendous contribution towards achieving a greater Lagos.
Engineer Toriola is a very diligent worker. Young ones to be diligent in their work.
I'm very happy because he's very close and they've been hardworking. You know, he headed the vehicle inspection office for many years, which is very demanding. And I think it's a reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah for the position he maintained. And we pray Allah to guide him and give him long life and prosperity in that position.
Those were members of retired engineers in civil service. The data protection team from the Ministry of Science and Technology and the Public Service Standards and Performance team have taken a sensitization and awareness campaign exercise to 22 MDAs in the first and second phases of the program. Director of Public Affairs in the Ministry, Bola Akingbade, said the project started with 14 strategically chosen MDAs that deal with a lot of personal data on the first phase of the exercise, noting that representatives of the selected MDAs have gone through data protection, audit compliance, and monitoring training. Akingbade said 8 additional MDAs chosen in the second phase of the project have also gone through sensitization and awareness training on data protection. Akingbade averred that the Lagos State government also recognizes that data is today's one of the most valuable resources for businesses and governments to thrive, and the responsibilities around its privacy and protection are among the biggest challenges. The social media team of the Lagos State government have mapped out strategies to increase government presence online through the official platforms of the state government through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube in the coming years. The team, led by the Director of Social Media, Jide Atonsuyi, made the resolve recently during a social media hangout organized by the social media department to appraise the government's presence online since the inception of the current administration, identify grey areas in the discharge of their duties, and also make a projection for the new year. While addressing the social media team during the hangout session, the accounting officer of the Ministry of Information and Strategy, Olumide Shogunle, called on all members of the public that believes in the sterling performance of the administration of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu to be part of the social media movement of sharing, retweeting, and engaging the populace online about the programs, plans, and policies of the government in an objective manner. On his part, the General Manager, Lagos Traffic Radio, Taiwo Baruwa, acknowledged the consistency of the department in their operations and expressed his satisfaction on how the various Lagos State government social media platforms are faring in the cyberspace. The Nigerian Air Force 303 Medium Airlift Group has commenced a joint operation with other sister security agencies to smoke out and eliminate any criminal gang along the Enyikori Peke Okolowo area in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. The operation is codenamed Exercise Akpejokpo Idi, meaning gathering of the eagles, and will run till the end of December for maximum impact. And now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has cautioned motorists and other road users plying Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to drive cautiously and avoid speeding, especially during the Yuletide. Ogun Controller of Works, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, Foroshola Oloyede, stated this while supervising the removal of crash barriers and other diversion points on the highway for free flow of traffic at Soka and Soyo areas of Ibadan. Oloyede said removal of the barriers was done in accordance with the directive from the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola. According to her, Fashola had ordered that all barriers on the federal roads where construction works are ongoing should be removed for free flow of traffic for the Yuletide season. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has advised traders across the country to desist from selling goods on highways in order to avoid unnecessary loss of lives, especially during Yuletide. Acting Corps Marshal Dada Biu said the advice was important so as to prevent vehicles running into those selling goods on the roads. Biu expressed concern over the number of casualties recorded from crashes that involved roadside traders. In foreign news now, Shanghai's Education Bureau has ordered nurseries and childcare centers to shut down from Monday. Restrictions were eased by Chinese authorities earlier this month following a wave of protest to get in China's zero COVID strategy, but the easing of strict lockdown measures has led to growing concerns over the spread of COVID in China. The Education Bureau said the measure of shutting schools is to protect the health of teachers and students in line with current coronavirus prevention measures. Meanwhile, it has been reported that extra 230,000 hospital beds have been made available in Shanghai. In sport now, Croatia has clinched the third position of the World Cup with the playoff victory over history makers Morocco. In a frantic opening, Josko Vardiol gave Croatia the lead on 7 minutes with a superb diving header, but Ashraf Dari leveled just 2 minutes later by nodding home from the close range. Croatian left winger Mislav Orsic curled in a sumptuous second for Croatia via the post 3 minutes before half-time and struck a thumb-in deflected drive into the side netting after the break. But the second half could not match the energy of a thrilling opening period, and Morocco failed to find an equalizer as a fruitful campaign ended in back-to-back defeats. The Flying Eagles embarked on a 2-week break after rounding off the first phase of their preparations for the forthcoming Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON. The national Under-20 male football team began the 2-week recess after ending the first phase of preparations on a high note and are expected to resume camp in the first week of January for the final phase of preparations ahead of the Under-20 AFCON final tournament to build for Egypt from February 19 to March 11. And that's it on the news at 9. But just before we go, ensure you make use of your seatbelt while driving. You can listen to Lagos Traffic Radio on our website, www.trafficradio961.ng, and follow us on our various social media platforms: Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Also, you can download our app, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, from Play Store for more traffic updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration embarked on the implementation of gradual phase-out of lay police prosecutors at magistrate courts in the state? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Ministry of Transportation has appealed to young engineers to be diligent and dedicated in service. The federal government has cautioned motorists and other road users plying Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to drive cautiously and avoid speeding, especially during the Yuletide. We also told you that Shanghai's Education Bureau has ordered nurseries and childcare centers to shut down from Monday. And finally, in sport, Croatia has clinched the third position at the World Cup with a playoff victory over history makers Morocco. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to newsroom@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Bolani Adibayo. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
Passengers, call everybody.